I have an urge to use up my balled yarn, my random balls of yarn. I buy these at thrift stores, and usually they just come in very small quantities, and I end up not really knowing what to do with them, and I accumulate a lot of space, and most of these I actually don't feel very inclined to use because they are very, very colorful. I chose these 4 colors, and I even made a gauge swatch, my first ever gauge swatch. I'm thinking of making some mini shorts, but instead of having these stripes horizontal, I want some vertical stripes, like this one. The gauge swatch was 8 times 8 centimeters, and it was 20 times 20 stitches, loops, whatever. I'm 96 centimeters around my hips where I want the shorts to sit. So that is 12 times 20. I'm doing the long tail cast on, but with 2 different colors, so it creates this nice little border of contrast color. It's the next day. I managed to make some ribbing. It's 1 by 1. I'm in the woods with my cat. He's somewhere around here. Here he comes. This is how much I got done yesterday. That's 10 rows of ribbing. And now I'm going to not do ribbing anymore, and I'm gonna switch colors. But I'm gonna do that on the bus, on the way to my boyfriend's.
Really?
What?
Coolidge. Jaha. Filmar du?
Ja.
Upp med den!
Kom igen nu!
This is how it's looking. I'm not really enjoying it because these 3 shades are way too similar and this dark one is way too different. So I'm gonna unravel up to where the ribbing ends because I'm not redoing ribbing. But first, I'm gonna try it on. They fit perfectly. My new plan is I'm gonna go from the green to the red, from the red to the yellow, from the yellow to the rainbow, from the rainbow to the purple. That's as far as I've planned, and we'll see how far it gets me. This is how it's looking. It's not yet long enough to create the pant legs, so I'm going to continue with an orange yarn that I found. This is the last row of rainbow, and this is how much rainbow I have left. I'm not fully sure about the rainbow yarn because at some sections the rainbow yarn is yellow and it blends in with this yellow here. And the same happens on this purple part, but I think it's fun. They're gonna be fun. I did one row of this orange and purple together, and I think it's too dull. So I'm going to try to do it with the blue and the purple. This is how the blue and purple row turned out. It's time to do the legs. So I sliced it into 2 legs and I picked up 20 stitches on the center to create like a panty. As you can see, I need to add a little bit of length here for the legs in the front, but I definitely need to add length in the back, which means I need to do short rows in the back. I don't know how to do that. I figured out how to do short rows and it wasn't very difficult. It didn't make it more difficult that I was using 2 colors. It was no problem, but there is one problem. In the front, you're not going to be able to see it much, but in the back, you just have a random striped. It just looks out of place. So I think I have to take all of this apart and this apart and do it just in the green colors.
I've knitted this much of the leg and I realized it's too small because the diameter around my leg is not half of the diameter of my hips, which makes sense. But I didn't think about that.
Then we're gonna have to make a fire and eat snow. My little brother is playing, I just have the mic.
So I had to remake the legs of these shorts maybe 3 times because they were way too small. And after that many fails, I thought, why don't I measure my legs and use the gauge swatch that I made? So I did that, and it was really no wonder that they never fit because I needed to add 2 stitches every 4th stitch. So that's like almost double. Anyways, I did that and I made the shorts and they do fit perfectly. They look very good, except for this little stripe in the middle. I thought that they would connect more seamlessly and they did not. I'm very sad to announce that I will be taking apart the entire leg and this little panty thing. This is the shorter side, so the front, and this is the back, where I've done a bunch of short rows. Now I am ready to make like a panel that goes from the front to the back. And there I am going to have my private parts. I finished the shorts. I love them. The front is very beautiful. The back is okay. I don't love this big chunk of only green, but it doesn't really matter. I started these the 3rd of August and I finished the 27th of July. So it's been a 3-month process. I would have never come up with these shorts if I wasn't trying to get rid of scrap yarn, so I think that's fun. Let's go through how much of the yarn I actually got rid of. Starting with the green, probably used up a little bit more than half of the skein, which is a disappointment. I mean, I actually like these, so I'm happy to use them again, but that's not a lot of yarn, and these are the 2 colors that I use quite a lot of. So these shorts really don't eat up any yarn. This is how much red I have left. Are you kidding me? This ball was exactly the same size when I started. Whatever. This is how much yellow we used. Okay, this one's actually good. It was the smallest ball, so. Another one that you can actually notice that I used. It's looking really skinny. And this one is just the same.